Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Johnny Freeborn. You are watching Central Valley Talk Business, and my first guest is Kathy Salas. She's an ADHD coach. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. So tell me about yourself.
Well, I am an ADHD coach. I do personal coaching for people who might be having a little trouble or get a little stuck because of their ADHD symptoms, which might be forgetfulness or clutter, disorganization, managing time, those types of things. And sometimes it's hard to get from where your goal is to the other side because of being stuck with those types of things.
Right.
So I have a fun time working with people. They're really excited to get moving.
Okay, so you help them identify maybe what might be their holdup, or kind of the pattern in their thinking that keeps them circling the mountain, so to speak, or
Sure, and I'll ask them questions. People who are stuck like that, they really know what they need to do, but they have a very difficult time accessing it. I have ADHD as well, and I have a coach, and she's really been helpful for me to get through this coaching program that I've been working on.
Wow.
So, there's ways of finding out where you're stuck, and then coming up with what's in the way, and then activating. How are you going to activate? What are you going to do next based on what you just learned about yourself? And, and take it from there. I have a coach, and I've been going to her for 4 years. I consider that I've done a really good job if somebody can get what they need to get done by 6 months, but I go for preventive maintenance. Because there's always something that will come up.
Okay.
When you have ADHD.
I'm sure, yeah. Okay, so many variables in life, and ADHD definitely complicates things. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is what it's called, correct?
That's
right. And what that is just the hyper distraction of your mind. Your mind is just kind of entertaining itself while the world goes around, and you're kind of off in your own world. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct. We're just not wired quite the same as everybody else. There's in the prefrontal cortex. That's the place where you would manage the executive functioning. It would be like a CEO who had to analyze what needs to be done and figure out how much time it's going to take. That's the reason that they have people that help them do all of that stuff, the people that are good in those areas. But we don't have that, so we have to figure out how to do it ourselves, how to self-regulate, how to know be aware of when you're not, going in the right direction, and being able to stop and pause and, reshoot where you really wanted to go instead of where you took off to.
I see. Okay, so tell me what got you involved in this, and who has certified you, or what qualifies you?
Okay, I got involved in this a while back when my son, who is one of the things with ADHD is impulsiveness, and it usually happens with children. But a lot of times you'll find that in adults when they blurt things out without thinking about if it's a good time or not to blurt something out. And in children, it would just be doing things before they think about what the circumstances would be.
Right.
What trouble they'll get into. Well, my son was impulsive, and he did something impulsively, and it cost him his life. So I decided to do this as a legacy to him, to see if there's a way I can keep that from happening to somebody else. So I took a training in California, and it was called Limit Busters, and I took it in 2000. and that was a year-long training. All these trainings are done on the phone because there's people from all over the world that are in the trainings.
Okay.
Lots of hours, lots of homework, lots of coaching that goes on, while we're going through the class. And the most recent school that I've been to is the ADD Coach Academy, which is the premier training for people who have ADHD now, and they certify you, and they have the ability to certify you so that you can get into the International Coach Federation, which, being that it's not a regulated business, that's the closest that you can get to regulation. At some point it will be, and those will be the credentials that you'll need to have.
I see. Okay. So where can people find you?
Well, they can find me with my phone, which is 559-347-8643, or on my website, kathysalas.com. I have lots of information and resources there, other resources that you can get a hold of that don't have time to talk about right now. So that's how you can get a hold of me.
Okay, very good. Well, thanks again, Kathy, for coming on the show and sharing with us.
Again, thanks for having me.
All right, I appreciate it.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Okay.